Hello, and welcome back to Reverse 1999. So, last time we saw the guy get shot. Huh. Alright, let's continue on with the ant mill. The truth is, no one can truly bend fate. Okay, we're going to fate still.
La cabaña con el techo azul estaba silenciosa como siempre. En un sueño fugaz, la investigadora de paracausalidad descubrió la verdad detrás del dado de Babilonia. Examinó cuidadosamente los patrones ocultos, como un astuto astrólogo rastrea los movimientos de las estrellas. Lo que pueda parecer errores o accidentes no niega las verdades del destino. Por el contrario, afirman su existencia. Solo pregúntale al gran Heráclito.
Okay.
En un universo no observado, el dado de Babilonia gira perpetuamente, dictando el destino de todos en un tiempo que es tanto infinitamente largo como infinitamente corto. Mira, cerró los ojos. Respetaba la aleatoriedad de los números y el destino. Respetaba el juicio del dado. De lo contrario, se habría perdido sumisamente en los huecos del tiempo y bajaría para siempre como un fantasma en el olvido.
Okay. In the solemn prison hall, under the half-light of the next day, the prisoners of Komala gather. Octavia steps into the podium with a stern expression.
First, allow me to make one thing clear. I had absolutely nothing to do with what happened to the Idealist yesterday. I swear it on my career as a writer. As you all know, the Idealist and I are the representatives of the two factions of La Sociedad de Poetas de las Américas. As you also know, we have been at peace since the Let Sleeping Dogs Lie agreement was signed a few months ago.
Hello, what's going on here?
Despite our differing views, we have coexisted to this day under the watchful gaze of the Central Tower. Rest assured that we will work tirelessly to locate the missing Idealist.
Don't put so much pressure on yourself, Miss Octavia. His death wasn't your fault. After all, he was the one who threw the first verbal dagger.
The murmurs cascading below reach the ears of the prisoners from another faction. Oh boy.
Show some respect, you morons. The Idealist is missing, not dead. I'm sure he'll show up in one piece before we know it.
Better face the hard truth now, Roberta. Though, I have to say, it won't be easy for you to find a new leader as mad as him.
A polite cough from the hostess pauses the heated debate.
Please, everyone, quiet down. According to the agreement, today's Congress should have been chaired by the Idealist. Since he is still missing, I will be acting on his...
Pardon my lateness. Go ahead. I'm ready to moderate.
Unfamiliar footsteps break the regular pattern of events. The jailer leads her visitors to the entrance of the prison hall.
Miss Vert, I looked over the incarceration and visitor records from the past 6 months.
No such... Doris isn't there, is she?
There was no mention of anyone named Doris.
Of course.
Then it seems only the physician knows the whereabouts of Dr. Dorez. Miss Jailer, we need to meet with the physician. It's important.
Listen, you really shouldn't take the inmates' ramblings too seriously.
Considering the identity of the person before her, the jailer softens her tone.
But if it's as critical as you say, I'll make another request later. That said, I'm afraid the meeting won't happen for at least a few days.
Okay.
Understood.
For now, please join us for today's Congress.
Espectacular! Do you hold literary salons like this every day? This place is practically a writer's paradise.
If you discount the panopticon, no privacy, and paranoia feeling, yeah, sure.
So, you're the host of the salon, Octavia? I say we set aside our differences and have a titillating literary discussion.
You've come at the right time. You may serve as witnesses for the Congress alongside the jailer, like a citizen's jury in a court.
Oh boy.
Your suggestion aligns with the congressional rules. Very well.
Congress? Witnesses?
Yeah.
Isn't this a salon? Which topic are we discussing? Literary theories? Schools? Principles? Languages? Oh, narrative perspectives?
None of those.
Octavia lowers her head, giving her a questioner a long indie book. That's a questioner, huh?
This Congress is about the randomness of fate, Miss Recoleta.
Randomness of fate?
As she sinks into confusion and bewilderment, the jailer's voice rises into a triumphant introduction.
Dear visitors from the Foundation, allow me to introduce the Kamala Congress. What happened yesterday was merely a brief anomaly. In the Panopticon, spontaneous order among the inmates is the norm, and the Kamala Congress serves as its truest reflection.
Spontaneous order?
Yes. Through the Congress, the inmates assign and distribute medication, communal duties, and rest periods. They are entirely self-regulated.
That seems like a terrible idea, but fine. Her tone is filled with pride.
I hereby announce the commencement of the 7th Kamala Congress.
As her words fall, Octavia takes out a worn lottery box and a small trinket from her hand. The prisoners move in perfect order like a swarm of ants.
A cardboard box and... is that a paper die? It has 20 sides. Huh?
We carefully examine hidden patterns, much like an astute astrologer tracks the movements of the stars.
Isn't this...
It's in your story, isn't it? From somewhere in the audience, the girl unconsciously mumbles a revelation.
Isn't this just like the Die of Babylon?
Exactly.
The MacGuffin that weaves through the entire plot? The infinite symbiote of fate? And the symbol that compresses time into a shriveled circle?
What may seem like errors or accidents doesn't negate the verities of destiny. On the contrary, they affirm its very existence. Just ask the great Heráclito. In an unobserved universe, the die spins in perpetuity.
Dictating the fate of all in time that is both infinitely long and infinitely short?
Look, I've closed my eyes.
Oh no.
I respect the randomness of numbers and destiny. I respect the die's judgment.
Oh no. As the prisoners recite their announcements, the author's voice becomes more and more sluggish. Oh boy, I do wonder what's gonna happen.
Otherwise, we will acquiesce and lose ourselves in the gaps of time and wander forever as ghosts in oblivion.
Oh no.
I don't understand what's going on. Oh, but the irony that I probably have more idea what's going on than anyone here.
Miss Recoleta, this is all in your novel, isn't it?
I'm afraid so. The recitations, the references to an astrologer and Heráclito, they couldn't possibly be just a coincidence.
This is too much just to be a coincidence.
Then, could it be? Will they look to the die to dictate their fate?
Yes, looks like it. The girl's audible shock does not affect the proceedings on stage. The Congress continues.
I shall perform the first roll. Its result will determine the subsequent roll order for this Congress.
20. The hostess tosses the 20-sided die into the cardboard box and begins shaking it rhythmically.
The result is 5.
Okay.
This check complies with the prerequisite conditions of the ruling of the die, and the standard roll order has been established. Inmate Jose, please come forth. You are the first in the initiative order. Therefore, Fate's judgment shall fall upon you before all else.
Me? Okay.
The prisoner steps forward, taking the fragile box in his hands, shaking it to roll the die of absurd fate inside. The die stops, and just like that, a simple number decides its fate.
17! It's 17! Ah, what a wonderful number! 17! Like an oasis in an endless desert.
The fuck do the numbers mean?
The result is 17, and the score combination 6 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3. According to the ruling of the die, he shall receive 60 risperidone tablets, 40 clozapine tablets, and 40 diazepam tablets. Additionally, he will assume the role of cultural manager of the Comala Congress.
That's how they decide who gets the medicine? Are you serious?
Before he takes office, inmate Jose must clean the first restroom for the next 7 days.
Wonderful! I'll gladly clean the toilet. I've got the brooms here, the toilet detergent, and the toilet brush too. I have been waiting for this opportunity. As cultural manager, I will speak with every inmate and complete the Comala memoir, finally capturing the moments when literary sparks ignite and explode.
Next is inmate Eduardo. Please come forth.
The man in question is a nervous mess. His gaze flickers, his eyebrows fight for space in his forehead, and his teeth clash against each other in turmoil.
But I can't remember the ruling of the die. I can't remember anything. Damn it.
God, this guy looks... Ooh, he's rough.
Sorry, Senora Octavia, but I don't think I can do this. I didn't get any medication in the last Congress. I've had multiple episodes. It's like my brain's jammed or something.
It's all right, inmate Eduardo. It's easy. You don't need to know the rules to roll the die. Give me your hand, I'll help you.
The prisoner follows suit, hands trembling as he shakes the box, the only thing he can do.
My sincerest apologies, inmate Eduardo. The die dictates that you must voluntarily descend into the sewers and write the thematic keyword that currently causes you the most anxiety on the walls.
Oh my god, this is horrible.
Thank you very much, Miss Octavia. I think my head's about to split in half. I need a moment to rest before I head down there and fulfill my destiny.
God damn it, this is horrible. Clutching his head, the prisoner leaves. His steps heavy, his hands empty, but his brow finally falling at ease.
Jailer, are you really letting them make every decision with the roll of a die? Eduardo is clearly in a much more dire condition than Jose. The medication should have been given to him.
As I said, this is how the inmates of the Panopticon maintain order. The physician periodically provides medication, food, and other necessities, and the inmates distribute them in this spontaneous and efficient manner.
Well, it's a stupid fucking manner, I will say that.
Neither authority nor violence is involved in this process. This is what sets Comala apart from all other custodial facilities.
Uh-huh.
Is that it? You abdicate all agency to the roll of a paper die and call it the randomness of fate? What kind of sick joke is this?
Please calm down, Recoleta. This is the method that the inmates have collectively decided to recognize. They're prepared to face the possible sacrifices that it brings. This isn't about you or me. It's not our place to interfere with a procedure that has been proven both pragmatic and effective.
Uh-huh, sure.
My duty is to assist the inmates in maintaining order through the methods that they have established. And yours is to witness their self-governance, not judge it.
Giving a bunch of mentally ill people their own society is not a very good idea, I will say. They need help, not, this, whatever the hell this is. The jailer takes a deep breath, her words clearly meant to convince herself as much as anyone listening.
If everything somehow unfolds as it does in my novel, then every role is already predetermined. Verton, do you remember the story I told you last night? The odds of both success and failure were consecutively multiplied. I remember. As soon as a character experiences a failure, they continue to suffer failures in an endless chain reaction.
Oh
None
boy.
of Eduardo's future dice rolls will ever result in a number higher than 10. At this rate, this system, this sociedad, ruled by the dice of Babylon, is bound to collapse.
She looks around, realizing that her words, weighty as they seem to her, have gathered no attention.
Eduardo will never receive any medication.
God damn it.
The moment he writes the keyword on the wall could very well be the moment he spells out his own death. No, I can't let this happen. I have to do something.
Recoleta rushes out to the stage.
Wait, Miss Recoleta, what are you doing?
Good on her. Honestly, yeah, good on her. Alright, what else is here?
Few soldiers would appreciate the idea of taking orders from an accursed die. A skilled commander would never rely on luck to make decisions. On the battlefield, the distance for every maneuver should be clear and precise, not two numbers with a D in the middle. Unless you're looking to invite a mutiny.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
That said, if a die with such power were placed in a soldier's hand,
They could forge it, right?
I'm pretty sure they'd roll it and let it decide their destiny.
Luck won't always take your side.
Exactly. There's no good luck without bad luck. Just as a coin must have two sides. Luck essentially defines one's entire life. And whether it's make or break, life or death, the die will keep on rolling. Of course, dice aren't the only tools used to play with fate. Coins, lotteries, even shells on the beach can all serve the same purpose. Thanks to the randomness of fate, a Babylonian may rise to be a proconsul one day and fall into slavery the next.
Some tragedies could have been avoided.
Well, that's where historians come in. With a little creative editing of the history books, even the random rolls of a die can suddenly make sense. What were once avoidable tragedies are rebranded as reasonable incidents, or even desirable outcomes.
At least the roll of a die is impartial.
You're starting to sound like a gambler. But even gamblers, after hitting a hot streak or a losing spell, start to convince themselves that they've figured out the grand pattern behind games of chance. It isn't just gamblers either. Witches tried to influence fate through rituals and charms. Ancient mathematicians calculated probabilities on paper. Some even wrote books on game theory. Meanwhile, others suspected there were cheaters among them. I just hope these high rollers unite to confront the demon who holds the laws of the universe, the past, present, and future, in its claws, and give it a well done and a slap in the face.
You're talking in circles today.
Haven't I always? It's just that today, the die rolled a peculiar number. But all things considered, I prefer the other kind of commander. The die is cast. But regardless of what number has been rolled, it's time to cross the river.
Okay. The transformation of quantity into quality is the greatest realization of a method of exhaustion. December 1st, number 704-733. Each person is uniformly allocated one dose of loromazine and one dose of something, okay. December 3, these numbers, okay. Huh. Soothsayer, word maker. The goddess delights in toying with the piety of her believers. On the stage, Octavia remains the picture of serenity as she orchestrates the Congress.
Miss Recoleta, as a witness to the Congress, you have the right to express your doubts calmly.
Listen, you...
She recalls the complaints of her two former companions, the jailer's dismissal, and the confused expression on every editor she has ever faced. If she were to lay out every detail of her novel here and now, she would only get the same response.
No, it's nothing. It's just that I'd like to participate in the dice rolling ceremony. May I?
Of course. The very fact that you're standing here in the Panopticon proves that you share a common fate with it.
She's gonna try to derail the thing, is she? Recoleta surveys the prisoners, waiting to cast their die. Their expressions are serene and troubled, calmly awaiting their fate. The joys and misfortune of those before them do not affect the long, winding queue in the slightest. She takes a deep breath.
It doesn't matter when I roll the die, since the rolls are simply a reflection of the randomness of fate, right?
Oh, she's gonna say a number and it's gonna show, right?
Precisely.
Then I'd like to perform my role after the 27th inmate. Is that alright?
As you wish, Miss Recoleta.
What are we fighting? Plate? No, chest. Okay.
I have all the essentials for writing poetry. You, me, and our opponent.
Oh, it's a... Okay.
En todo eso es idealismo, vuelos de fantasía, patrones
Real
ocultos.
troublemaker of a guest, aren't you? You're waking it.
Okay, so
Más
I'm...
allá del concepto mundano del tiempo. This card should do. Oh look, here's
This
another
guy,
one. Do I have to do
basically
this?
useless. This one then.
En todos los momentos. This card should do.
This way, please.
Nuestro adversario es el tiempo. You are not welcome here.
Nothing happens.
You want me to? Más allá del concepto mundano del tiempo.
Room service.
We'll find our home one day. Cosmología, filosofía clásica, el fundamento del mundo. El camino en todos los momentos. Oh look, here's another one. En la acumulación de laberintos, suéltalo todo una vez más. Nuestro aliado es la verdad. Oh, be careful. You are not welcome here.
Nothing happens. Okay.
Más allá de en todos los... This card should do. Do I have to do this? Huh, a truly villainous moment.
Perfect service, just like always.
Okay, let's see if she figures out what her number is gonna be.
It seems fate favors you, Miss Recoleta. Here are your supplies. Please be sure to follow the distribution rules of the Congress. This is an essential structure of Comala, and a belief shared by all its inmates. Honor it.
Just as I suspected. These supplies belong to me now, Octavia. I'm free to use them however I please.
Oh, she's gonna give him to the other guy. Recoleta strides towards Eduardo, who is curled up in a distant corner, clutching his head, as his body trembles in silence.
Here, Eduardo. Take them.
But I haven't fulfilled my destiny yet. These precious tablets and capsules, I can't accept them. They are gifts from fate. the die has placed them in your palm.
But I don't need them. You do.
Thank you, kind senorita.
The prisoner, trembling, stops. He blankly pitches his arm as if trying to distinguish reality from dream. Then, all at once, he snatches the medication from her hands and shoves it down his mouth. Oh no, don't take everything, god damn it.
Eduardo, what's wrong? Are you taking the medicine right now? There's no need to rush. There's plenty of it. You can have it all.
Por Dios, Eduardo! How could you squander fate's gifts like this? Kind señorita, please, give me the medication. I need it more than anyone else.
Okay, it's gonna be chaos.
I'm the one who needs the most. Give me the medication. I beg of you. With the protection of these amulets, I might finally be able to get a peaceful night's sleep. No more trembling floors and wailing ghosts.
Just a little tap can knock a house of cards, it seems. The prisoners shove and struggle, countless hands reaching towards the hapless rider, trying to snatch the small, round pills of salvation.
Enough! Enough!
A blue glow spreads through the room, forcing the prisoners to clutch their heads and falling down their knees. The riot comes to an abrupt halt.
You shouldn't have done that, Miss Recoleta. Your ignorant generosity could shatter the very basis of our survival.
She steps towards Eduardo, now writhing in pain, and picks up a few stray capsules scattered at his feet. The pills dissolve into a stream of voided sand, vanishing as it pours through her fingers.
We have never had such chaos at the Congress. Understand this. We rely only on the randomness of fate to distribute supplies and assign responsibilities. If you disrupt the status quo, the entire system of the Panopticon will collapse beyond repair.
Then it's not a good system, then, is it?
It is only by respecting the arbitrariness of fate and adhering to the rules of the Die of Babylon that we have kept this place functioning all this time.
Yep, I see. Arbitrary and rule and Die of Babylon are glitching out. Since I sincerely doubt that the Die of Babylon is random.
The Die of Babylon? Tell me, how did you know this name? Are you the one orchestrating this whole thing?
Recoleta, equally confused and furious, grabbed the hostess collar.
¿Podría ser? ¿Eres Aleph? ¿Tal como sospechaba Verdun?
Let go of me, Miss Recoleta. Have you gone mad? The role of the die is absolutely random. I'm not orchestrating anything. Before the Congress began, I made an oath. I intend to keep it.
Please, calm down, Miss Recoleta. I think she's telling the truth.
She lets go of her grip as the reality of the situation dawns on her.
Sorry, Octavia, but please, you have to tell me how you learned about the Die of Babylon. I must know. Only my pen pal and I should have any knowledge about this die.
I heard about it from the physician. He described it as a symbol of collective consciousness that we could harness to maintain immaculate order in the Panopticon. The Comala Congress was coined, iterated, and perfected by the physician based on this concept.
The physician again. Everything eventually leads back to him. Just as we suspected.
I see.
Recoleta casts her eyes over the silent Jaguar, who has remained wordless from beginning to end, watching it all unfold.
Jailer, we have to meet with the physician in person. Now.
As I've told you many times, Dr. Merlin is too busy at the moment. I couldn't possibly trouble him over a novel and a pen pal. They are just fantasies.
A novel and a pen pal that only Recoleta and Aleph should know.
Couldn't you make an exception? What if they're not just fantasies? What if they're tied to the very survival of this place? Miss Recoleta said the Panopticon could collapse because of the Die of Babylon.
Are you seriously telling me you believe that nonsense?
It wasn't nonsense, nor are they fantasies. You saw with your own eyes how I won the die roll.
It was just a coincidence.
The jailer's words are at odds with the subtle emotions of her eyes and face. The Foundation's investigators seize on the prime opportunity to apply pressure.
What if we present you with stronger evidence? To prove it's more than just a coincidence.
Oh, come on, let's go, Burton.
If everything in the Panopticon proceeds according to Miss Recoleta's novel as she says, she should be able to predict what happens next, including the roll results of the absolutely random die.
That's right. The Die of Babylon isn't random at all. It's nothing but a supercilious fraud veiled under the guise of fate, and an actor of the inescapable loop of history. And not one of you is paying attention to me whatsoever. Ugh, to hell with this era of ignoring unknown writers.
Miss Recoleta, please make your prediction for the next inmate's die roll. This way, you can prove to Miss Jailer the irrefutable connection between Kamala and your novel, The Rise and Fall of Sanity.
You finally remembered its name! Oh, what sweet balm to my spirit!
Miss Octavia, please continue the Congress and let the next inmate perform their role. Then Miss Recoleta's statement will be proven true.
The hostess of the Congress remains non-committal.
I appreciate the reminder. No matter the interruption, the Comala Congress must go on. Though not for Miss Recoleta's sake, of course. Next inmate, please.
Following the die's designated order, that the next prisoner steps for the roll.
Hello, inmate Garcia. You know what to do.
Of course.
La sexta cara. Un pilar roto. El flujo de la fortuna y la calamidad.
6.
So the result of the next roll will be a 6.
Her prophetic prediction plunges the hall of new encounters into breathless silence.
As fate reveals, the number is 6.
Just as Miss Recoleta predicted.
That could still be a coincidence. Do it again.
1's a coincidence, 2 is an improbability, 3,
La 13ª cara. Una cadencia desconcertante, sin un verdadero principio ni fin. La 4ª cara. Un hombre que se ahogaba usó el último de sus fuerzas para nadar a la seguridad, solo para descubrir que había confundido un espejo con la superficie del agua. La 17ª cara cojeaba hacia el distante oasis, solo para que la débil humedad y la inquietante quietud revelaran cruelmente que era un espejismo. La 6ª cara, otro pilar roto con grietas idénticas a la última, confirmó la hipótesis de la investigadora de paracausalidad. Este lugar solía ser un edificio circular. Is that enough? I've almost finished the entire chapter.
It's not possible.
Oh boy, you're breaking down everything. One coincidence after another begins to stir into an uproar. The coincidences appear endless.
Who are you?
I'm sorry if this comes as a shock to you, but I did warn you, Octavia. Now it's proven. The Die of Babylon is anything but the so-called randomness of fate.
Have you been sent here by some god? Or are you a hobby prophet? Have you brought this knowledge to save us? Or to shatter our beliefs? Our world?
Oh boy, a question destined never to need an answer. She lets her eyes fall into the cardboard box and onto the 20-sided die. The ridiculousness of its nature becomes starkly visible.
What is this thing in my hand? What are we? What is this prison?
Oh, she's broken.
I don't know if it's some kind of sorcery or arcane skill, but it's unfathomable. I'll take you to the physician. Not because of your earlier request, but because the situation has escalated beyond my means. The overseer of the Panopticon will decide how to handle your situation.
To be honest, Miss Recoleta, I wasn't sure you'd be able to correctly predict everything.
Timekeeper, are you saying that you risked everything on a hunch?
Yep.
It worked, didn't it?
Come with me. Dr. Merlin's office is in the central tower.
For her part, the now vindicated writer follows at the end of the line, letting her mind
En la
race.
6ª versión de mi novela, todos en el pueblo mueren a causa del dado de Babilonia. Porque solo la muerte puede cerrar el ciclo de la historia.
Oh boy. Mind race like a bullet train.
Y carcelero, eres el empleado del banco, ¿verdad? Entonces, al final, también sufrirás un colapso como el empleado del banco, cuando se da cuenta de que él y el pescador de dunas son la misma persona. If all of this is tied to the rise and fall of sanity, then, as its creator, I will get to the bottom of this.
Oh boy, yeah, so everything she wrote is happening here, probably because of the position slash Aleph, it would seem. Oh, another Doris one. The boundary shatters, and an astrologer glimpses an unspeakable truth. Enter the darkness. After that, I attended several more literary salons, and wrote things I have never dared written before. Miss Octavia, however, never made an appearance. I didn't see her for quite some time. That was until I followed some prisoners to a large hall and heard her voice among a group of unfamiliar inmates. She noticed me and greeted me warmly. She told me she had been working on some new initiatives. She told me her hopes to gather some support, to improve conditions in the prison, and initiate a spiritual shift towards realism and resistance. In truth, I believed back then that everything was heading to the right direction. Before all eyes, the host of the assembly, the idealist, steps up to the podium. By the randomness of fate, we have gathered here to participate in the Kamala Congress. Before the eyes of destiny, historians and astrologers alike, I now declare the new rule amendment. A duel before a crowd of eager eyes. The winner awarded 10 pounds of gold, and the loser left with 10 flags to descend upon him. Before the Kamala Congress convenes, we shall assign 2 members of La Sociedad this noble mission, a duel decreed by fate. Doris hears the faint click of a small object rattling inside a box. Jose, Julio, step forward and draw the sharpest blade in your literary thoughts. According to the rules, I will preside over this duel with fairness and impartiality. Now prepare yourselves. The absurd, fictional, metaphysical duel ends with a fraction of a second. The victorious prisoner receives 10 shining golden pills, while the loser collapses on the floor. The crowd erupts into chaos, Octavia's cries rising above the noise.
What's going on?
Miss Julio, he's having another seizure.
Miss Erd, please, Julio needs your help.
Julio, sorry. Octavia, you know this is all part of the randomness of fate. The randomness of fate. She doesn't argue back as she usually would. Instead, she stands frozen in place, as if stunned. What's the matter, Miss Octavia? This is an emergency. I require your assistance. Answer me, Octavia. Why are you trying to change Julio's fate? Because no one should die like this.
I don't want him to die.
Please, Miss Octavia, help me so I can help him.
Her voice cracks, leaving only the sound of her stifled sobs lingering in the air. What's wrong, Miss Octavia? How is his condition now? Miss Octavia? She's gonna let him die, isn't she? She remains silent. After a long pause, she casts a heavy stone into the bottomless water. Miss Erd.
Mr. Julio is gone. He left us the moment the duel was over.
How could that be? Seizures can potentially lead to irreversible brain damage, but how could it happen so fast? A precious life, gone so quickly, swept away by something so senseless, lost in a nonsensical duel. What exactly is this so-called Congress? Some kind of punitive system unique to Kamala prison? But how can someone's life be decided by something so absurd? Are we simply meant to surrender to a fate so twisted, no matter how absurd it is? Is it so irrefutable? This isn't the fate I seek, it is a distortion of it. It's my fault for not finding a better way. I used to think Mr. Julio didn't care about anything but his own novels. I never imagined my ideals would mean anything to him. But he was the first person in La Sociedad to support me. But that really was an irreversible fate. A fate granted to Mr. Julio by the Die of Babylon. The Die of Babylon. Her question is left unanswered. The host of the salon goes on. Julio has stepped out of the endless staircase and reached the silent water. He has become as calm water, dissolved into his own pond. Let us offer our blessings, our silence, our farewells to this martyr of fate. And let us imagine what Julio's literary career was a happy one. The hall remains deathly silent. No pause, no applause, no response.
A life is taken, and that's all you have to say?
You really don't care whether we live or die, do you, idealist? And all of you, don't you have anything to say? Why are you all just standing there? If we hadn't kept rejecting the physician's treatment, maybe Mr. Julio wouldn't have... Rejecting? How ridiculous. You have any clue what a demon in human skin is capable of? How he'll reach into your mind and mold it like clay, reshaping it until it becomes your prison. In the realm of fiction, fate, unreality, the dissolution of the ego is inevitable and irreversible. Therefore, we must not resist the ending dealt to us by the die of Babylon. Do you even know what you're talking about? I've never truly understood you, idealist. I will find a better way. I must rewrite this tragic tale. If you disagree, then leave La Sociedad. I will not have your great poem disrupted by an offbeat syllable. Besides, your tedious talk of social responsibility should have been purged long ago. Modern Latin America belongs to a visceral realism, and you're too ignorant to even attempt to seek it out.
What a ridiculous, laughable man you are!
Yes, I see it clearly now. It's your tyranny that has driven everyone to ruin. Well, let me tell you something. I'm not leaving. I will establish a new literary movement, right here in Comala, right here in La Sociedad de Poetas de las Americas. And we will use our literature to rescue the inmates who suffer all around us.
I've had enough of your condescending stone-hearted ego and your pompous sophistry. He'll only bring misfortune upon us with his constant rambling about that visceral realism.
I hope I never see you again, Miss Erd. We have to get you out of here, as another second around this maniac might doom us all.
Only the physician, the true overseer of this prison, can save us from this situation. Please join our society, Miss Torres.
Help us build a renewed Sociedad de las Poetas together. I've already spoken with the jailer. As long as we follow the rules and help them manage Comala, we'll be free to discuss literature.
Forgive me, Miss Octavia. While I truly appreciate your kind offer, I'm afraid my conversation with the physician must remain private.
Why?
Please answer me this question first. From what you've seen, you'd say this prison is circular shape, yes?
Yes.
Then tell me, at the center of the structure, is there a watchtower? What? Impossible. You guessed it exactly. And our destination is somewhere inside that watchtower. How did you know?
I've had such a lovely time here. So much so that I almost forgot what I came for.
Which is precisely why I must put an end to this cruel farce masquerading as fate. Do you intend to rebel against the watchtower's gaze, just like the idealist? You misunderstand me, Miss Octavia.
That inescapable gaze, and the permanent theme of fate.
To get closer to the truth I seek, I have no choice but to meet the administrator that young lady spoke of.
You've decided to save the people here with your own hands, in your own way, and so have I. There are things I must face alone.
Damn. Though she is well used to death, the pain of Julio's passing still lingers in her heart, causing her to say these words that don't quite feel like herself.
I see. Lend me your palm.
Okay.
I'll draw you the way to his office. Good luck to you. And to all of us.
Farewell, Miss Octavia. I truly hope all goes well for you in the days ahead.
Oh, shit. As Octavia retreats, slowly fading into the distance, she quietly adds,
And in your journey, finding answers about fate, too.
So I'm guessing this is the last we're gonna see of Earth for a while. Parallel narratives. Okay, so oh my god, we're almost an hour just to get 1, 2, damn. Right, 12. Behind the operating curtain. What disrupted this era? What unraveled time? The shadows lurking in the ruins answers madness. An otherwise tidy room is covered in fine scratches and small, unidentifiable stains. The smell of disinfectant lingers in the air, mixed with mildew.
Wait here a moment. I'll report the situation and your request to Dr. Merlin. However, since he's always busy, I can't guarantee he'll agree to meet you. But I'll do my best to persuade him.
The Jaguar's figure slinks out through the inner door.
Now's our chance, Sinetto.
Our chance? What do you mean, Timekeeper?
It's unlikely that the jailer will let us search the central tower, even in this situation. We should take the initiative and look for clues while she's away.
Okay.
I see, Timekeeper. I will do my best.
Let's see if this works. Senator swiftly conducts a thorough, unauthorized search.
Thank you for your assistance, Miss Recoleta. Without your precise predictions, we wouldn't be standing here now. I haven't yet grasped the connection between the die, your novel, and what's happening in this place. But, by process of elimination, it's almost certain that your pen pal, Aleph, is right behind this door.
Sometimes I envy your decisiveness, Vertin. I'm sure many people have praised this special talent of yours.
Are you alright? You don't seem as excited as when we first entered Kamala.
Recoleta holds her gaze on the tightly shut door, uncertain whether she hopes it will open now or never again.
The all-seeing sentinel of the Panopticon, veiled within the central tower. If it truly is Aleph, I don't know how to face such a terrifying and increasingly plausible reality.
Sorry to interrupt, but... Timekeeper, I think you'll want to see these.
Oh, letters?
Sign Erd. This is a letter from Dr. Dorez.
The delicate signature matches the one in the manuscript folder.
Her handwriting. It's as beautiful as I'd imagined. Who is it addressed to? Dear Mr. Aleph.
Aleph? Looks like Dorez and Aleph are acquaintances. Or at least, they've had some correspondence. Dear Mr. Aleph, my apologies if this reaches you at an inconvenient time. I am Dorez, pen name Erd, an ordinary inmate of the Panopticon of Kamala. I write seeking your guidance, if you wouldn't mind offering it to me. I heard from the physician, Dr. Merlin, that
you have the answer to every question. A statement which has been echoed by the Idealist and the other inmates. I have something I wish to ask you. What exactly is your role at the prison? Chief Warden? A secret backer? An observer who dominates the prison? Are you truly the supreme ruler of the Panopticon of Kamala?
They tear open the next letter, eager to read on.
Dear Erd, I do indeed have answers for every question, including yours. I'm afraid every one of your speculations is off the mark. I am merely an inmate who chose to imprison himself here. And allow me to point out that your identity isn't as ordinary as you claim. Why is it that you, my fellow inmate and guest of Manus Vindictae, are so interested in Kamala?
Dr. Dorez? A guest of Manus Vindictae?
Oh yeah, didn't know that. You just imagine she was just kidnapped. A muffled shattering of glass interrupts their reading.
It came from inside the room. Do you think they're okay?
The jailer and the physician! What happened?
The door defies any attempt at an answer, sealing all the events from view.
I'm not sure, but it could be bad. Come on, let's go in and see if they're all right.
Oh boy, this is creepy as shit. Oh, that's... The unlocked door leads to another room, more decrepit and oppressive than the last. A cold operating table lies in the center, surrounded by scattered bottles and medicinal instruments.
It seems we've stumbled upon the physician's office. I should have known. But is this an operating room? As if this prison wasn't bizarre enough already.
Inside the narrow operating room, the Jaguar reacts badly to their intrusion.
Didn't I tell you to wait outside? What do you think you're doing barging in like this?
We were just worried about your safety, jailer.
Enough. Get out of...
Quiet.
Oh boy. Oh, is it gonna end like that? No.
The reptilian complex governs all our fundamental functions.
Oh, it's glitching.
Our heartbeat, breathing, fight or flight responses, and our territory and hierarchy awareness. Our primitive ancestors, like reptiles and birds, followed such instincts to survive. Through millions of years of evolution, we developed the limbic system.
Yes.
This processes emotions and forms memories. It allows us to feel fear, sadness, anger, joy. Our behaviors are given meaning. Now it's the neocortex that makes up more than 2/3 of our total brain volume.
Are you gonna lobotomize the guy? Is that my question?
Language, perception, logical reasoning, abstract thought. This is what forms the complexity of human nature. We read, create, perceive. We try to understand both the world and ourselves. We are forever setting goals, one after another. And all this, these multitudes, happens within the confines of the skull, in the tight folds of the crowded cerebral cortex.
Is he performing surgery?
Such a delicate and elaborate organ. Were it unable to forget, what would come of it? Can this space, no larger than the palm of my hand, truly accommodate dozens of people at once?
What are you doing, dude? At last, the physician sets down this operating scissors and needle, signaling the end of the surgery. Yet at the same time, the old machine issues an alarm, signaling that his patient's vital signs are wavering.
What's happened to the patient? It looks like he's dying.
Her anxiety rises, and he's dead. The question goes unanswered. On screen, the last waveforms disappear, leaving only a constant flat tone.
¿Fracasó la cirugía?
No, I think you wanted to kill him.
Nonsense. The surgery was a tremendous success. I have erased his debilitating hysteria and restored order to the Panopticon.
He killed him.
What are you trying to achieve by barging in here?
The man behind the operating table stares at the uninvited guests, expectantly, but does not give them a chance to respond.
Forget it. The next operation requires my attention. Jailer, show them out. Bring me the next patient in 15 minutes.
I'm sorry, Miss Burton. I'm afraid you have to leave now.
Recoleta steps forward, blocking their path. There is a hint of pleading in her voice.
Please, just let us speak with you. It'll only take a moment. I have something very important I need to ask.
The question is not given the time to take shape.
Important. Nothing is of greater importance than my experiments in the Panopticon, outsiders.
Yeah, okay, yeah, experiments.
To ensure they continue, the stability of time and schedule is absolutely paramount.
Experiments in the Panopticon? So you really are the controller of the prison, then?
Hold on. The stability of time. Huh. I wonder if he knows about the storm.
Controller? What an outdated notion. Superficial, really. The Panopticon has no need for such power, regardless of who occupies the central tower, or even if no one's there at all. Every inmate is both the observer and the observed, both wielders and subjects of power. Achieving such a state requires no physical or violent measures. The structure of the Panopticon itself is the mechanism which sustains it. Komala is simply a manifestation of this model. Once I confirm its feasibility and adaptability, this model can be applied to any functional setting with only minor modifications. So far, it has proven to be far superior to any current system of governance in our world. Transcendental, even. Curse it. Why am I wasting time explaining this to you? Time is running out.
The investigator keenly senses the key within his words.
Dr. Merlin, you keep mentioning time.
Yeah.
What exactly do you mean by that?
Exactly what I want to know too.
Really? You need to ask? Even those oily-headed lunatics know it. The end of this era is imminent, is it not?
Indeed. The word that is so close to being spoken.
You know about the storm?
That's what you call it, is it? A storm that washes everything away? You employees of the St. Pavlov Foundation should know better than I. Soon, this era and everything in it will cease to exist. I must prove the feasibility of the Panopticon model before this place is turned to ruins, or something even more unrecognizable.
A storm that washes everything away?
Oh god, yeah, she doesn't
Virgin,
know.
what on earth are you two talking about?
Oh no. The conversation extends beyond the most imaginative creations of the aspiring writer.
No one can predict the era to which we will be reversed. I have seen the eras change time and time again. The transformation of this place, over and over.
Are you immune to the storm?
But no matter which era each of these 9 storms, as you call them, has taken us back to, Cordeismo continues to plague this land. Dependency theorists, martyred revolutionists. I've seen them all. You, young writer, are no different from those intellectuals who were swept away in the rain. There is no romance in this era. Only the repeated cycles of madness and brutality. An endless, meaningless struggle. Only in this forgotten corner can we momentarily escape the plundering of the marauders and the chaos they unleash. Although it won't be long before this place is looted by those oily-headed lunatics, just as it has countless times before on this land as rich as silver.
He muttered to himself.
But there is still hope. Even in a wasteland, we may still be saved, as long as I uncover the path to transcendentality. I will find the ultimate answer. Ugh, I've already wasted far too much time on you. Leave, now.
The physician turns away, beginning preparations for the next surgery, organizing his worn-out instruments.
You heard him. Please don't press things any further.
All right, Senor, I get it. Obviously, you don't want to discuss my novel with me anymore. So I won't insist upon it. All the letters we wrote to one another. All those inspiring revisions and suggestions. I guess they meant nothing to you.
Her voice wavers. Rejections, closed door, harsh critiques. This proves more devastating than all of them together.
But there's still something I must tell you. Jailer, could you please allow us a private conversation with the No, with Aleph.
Hearing this, the physician stops.
Leave us, Jailer. I'll spare these outsiders 5 minutes.
The Jaguar turns to leave, her face revealing an uncharacteristic sorrow, as she lingers on the girls one last time. This time, she offers no words. Oh boy. Wonder what the conversation is gonna be. There's something here. A clipping. When he pulls out the ice pick, don't be afraid. Panic is proof you're still lucid for now. Ah, fuck, it is a lobotomy. God damn it. Oh, it actually does say it. Huh. Yeah, in 1935, a Professor Antonio from Portugal became intrigued by a medical study documenting how gorillas became docile after the removal of their frontal lobes. Inspired by this, he successfully performed the world's first human frontal lobotomy, known as leucotomy. The surgery was remarkably successful, paving the way for a significant breakthrough in research. In 1949, Professor Antonio was awarded a Nobel Prize in Medicine for his work. Though continuous practice and refinement, he and others eventually improved and perfected the procedure, even developed the specialized leukoton. However, the surgical technique required high level of experience, and as a result, it was never widely adopted. In 1945, Dr. Wafer Freeman modified the procedure, which became infamously known as the ice pick lobotomy. Oh, so it's different. The technique involved rendering patients unconscious with electroshock or anesthesia, and then hammering a steel pick, roughly the thickness of a chopstick, through the upper part of the eye socket into the brain. The pick then manually rotated to destroy the frontal lobe. In 1950, following strong recommendations from psychiatrist pathology Vasily Gyanovsky, the Soviet government became the first to announce a complete ban of frontal lobotomies. Over the next 2 decades, most countries, including the United States, followed suit and passed laws prohibiting the procedure. I knew that Antonio invented the lobotomy. I didn't know the American was the one that made the ice pick. Huh. Okay, yeah. So he. Okay, yeah. It's kind of sad that our only Portugal's only medicine Nobel Prize is for the lobotomy, but alright, I'm gonna leave it at here. Man, I'll see you next time in Reverse 1999. Ciao.